Hi, Stampers. Welcome. We're here today to do an online class on how to make this really fun fold card. And we're actually going to do it in two different ways, depending on how you want to do it. And I'm excited to get started. So my name is Lisa. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I go live on YouTube and in my Facebook group every Monday and Thursday at 2:30. So I always like to teach you guys something new that's a little bit fancy, but still easy to do. So we're going to be using some new product out of the new, the new 2023 to 2024 annual catalog, because it is now live. Customers are able to purchase out of this catalog with lots of fabulous new stuff. One of the things in there is this Lasting Joy stamp set, and then the Countryside Corners dies. Now, the Countryside Corners is part of an entire suite. A suite is when Stampin' Up! Gives you a bunch of things that coordinate together. So they have the bundle, which is combined for the discount. You have the stamp set and the dies, and then there's the designer series paper and the embossing folder and things to go along with it. And then on the very next page is the stamp set I'm working with. But it makes some beautiful cards, and I'm just in love with this designer series paper. It's got all these gorgeous blues in it, and a lot of them are new or returning colors, because Misty Moonlight used to be a blue that was an in color that went away and came back, and Boho Blue is a new in color. So lots of fun stuff today. We're going to start by, I used the dies when I was off camera because we all know my arm's a little off, but I went ahead and die cut using the dies. So I have these two all ready to go, and then I pre-cut my papers. The first card here is going to start with, they both actually start with a 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And you know what? I lost something already. Go figure. But it started out 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then I cut this 3-inch section in half so that each piece is 1 1/2 inches. And then I have my layers that's going to go on top of that. This is 1 1/4 by 4. So I came down 1/4 of an inch on both length and width. And then I have this one that's going to go here. And then I went down another 1/4 inch, and I have these, which are the designer series paper, that are 1 inch by 3 3/4. Now, if you follow me at all on Facebook, you know that I shared with you a download that somebody gave me. Somebody's husband heard a lot of you guys saying that you were confused with the 1/8 inch increments. And so he created this ruler that fits on top of our existing trimmer. He's got it, both pieces, so it goes all the way across. It prints out on cardstock, and then you cut off the line around there. That's going to make it just fit the trimmer. And then there is, it's adhered with tear and tape. Now, my trimmer gets a lot of use, and we all know I'm funny about how ink sits on things. So after I cut mine out, I laid a piece of standard packing tape just over the top, and I folded it to the back and then just cut off the ends. So mine is coated. It's like, I want to say laminated, but it's just got packing tape over the top. So it's not going to come apart as easy. The numbers are not going to wear off. That's just a really good idea to help protect these rulers. When you print it out, it's going to give you 3 of them on one sheet, and you want to make sure that it prints to actual size. The first time I loaded it in my printer, you can see the edge, this bottom line is off the edge. So it tried to shrink to best fit, and it made it not exactly right on the ruler part. So if the ruler does not match up, my guess is that that's what happened. Let me grab an ink pad. Sorry, just realized I had left my blue on the table over there because we're going to need that for our cards. We're also going to need an inside piece that is a 5 1/4 by 4. And then these, if you wanted to know rough estimates, this is basically 4 inches by 2.5. And this one is 2 by 3.5, roughly. You know, they're of course down to 1/8 inch or whatever, but you know, since you guys don't like that, I'm giving you rough dimensions for what paper you need in order to cut these out. And then I'm going to be stamping in those 2 blues I mentioned, the Misty Moonlight, which is now part of our ongoing color collection, and the Boho Blue, which is a current in color. I also had used a little bit of sponging around the outside edge, so we'll do a little of that. You'll notice I kind of just swirl on the ink pad. I start swirling off the paper and then swirl onto it. Because oftentimes when you first set down the brush, it'll leave kind of a harsh mark. And if it's going to do anything harsh, I want that on my scrap paper, not on my project. Because it is a juicy ink pad, it is giving a little bit of a blip on the side, but that's because they're brand new pads, so they are very juicy. Oh, good to hear that you guys are already using the ruler. That's fantastic. I knew it was going to come in handy the minute I saw her post that, and I thought it was very generous of her and her husband to share that with us for free. Their only condition was that other demos that share it also share it free. So you guys lucked out. It should be all over the place by now if other demos are sharing it. And don't let them charge you for it because the gal who designed it wanted it to be free. Okay, so I'm just adhering the designer series paper to the little pieces here. And then they're going to get adhered onto this little piece here and this one up here. For our stamping, I'm going to use the little flowers that came with this set. So I'm going to pull those out. I used this one here, and this one, and this one. Now the stems will match up with the flowers, but there's a certain way we need to do it. My blocks are over there too. Okay. So I'm going to be using blocks a little too big because some of mine are over there on the other table. And then I have to remember how these go because there is a certain way that these will line up on here so that the stems match. Okay, so I think it's going to be this way. So I'm going to do the stems in our Misty Moonlight. And I'm going to do boho blue on our flowers. Okay. See, and that again, it's going a little dark. And I wanted to show you guys that because one of the things you're going to want to do when you get these new ink pads is rub them with the back of a spoon to push that ink down into the pad so it's not quite as juicy, and you'll get a much better image with it. And let's see, I did the 2 corners. Thank you, Dawn, for sharing. I really appreciate that. Beth, you can find the download for this in my online store. If you go to queenbeecreations.net and then you go to learn card making and shop tutorials, it's in there, or just queenbeecreations.net/store. Okay, now this one I'm going to want to go on the inside, and then I'm going to put these over it. So this one I'm going to line up with the bottom as if it was a full front, and then I'm going to stagger this piece so it spans the 2 of them, and I'm just going to put adhesive on the very ends so it won't glue the card shut, but it holds these 2 together. Trying to keep it straight here. When you're trying to keep things straight, it's always best to look straight down from the top, because when you're looking like I am at kind of an angle, it tends to make things a little bit off. I'll set that one on there. Okay, now I wanted this one kind of shoved off to the side so I could put my happy birthday to the side on this one. So it will be viewable from the outside, but stamped on the inside. And then I have some clear rhinestones just to add a little bit of bling to it. And my take your pick tool is somewhere. There we go. Okay, so you guys want to make sure you have a take your pick tool. These things are awesome. They have putty in the end, so you can press it against here and then just flick, and it'll pick it up on the end of your take your pick tool, and then you can apply it to your project. Makes it really easy. You've often seen me use the other end for like peeling off the backing of tear and tape, or you can also use this to lift. You can use it to poke holes in things. And then it flips over, and there's a spatula on the other side. And it also comes with a stylus tip. In this catalog, they released something new, which I should have marked the page ahead of time. But it's, again, one of those little things you don't always notice, so I want to point it out, is look what they did here. They created some new tips. They're going to fit into the take your pick tool. So there's like a little rotary that's going to do a stitching edge. There's an X-Acto knife. Very cool little set. So it just makes your take your pick tool that much more valuable. So anyway, so there's our card number 1. Okay, the second card is very similar, but it's going to open differently. This one opens like this. So from the outside, you can't tell that it's any different, but it is. This one started with the same measurements. I have the 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and I scored at 1 1/2 and 7. So that gave me the 2 ends. And then we're going to just work it exactly the same way. But this time I put the thing in the center and have an inside sentiment. So see, that first card was so quick and easy. I knew we'd have to have a second one, or people might come on late and think I wasn't on time. And yeah, I think they may be on back order, like not available to order yet, but they are still very cool and will be coming soon. Okay, so same exact ideas. We're just layering this on top of the other ones. And then we're going to stamp our inside and the front. There's my other white one. Our birthday wishes. And then there's a second stamp set, or stamp. There we go. That says, "May the years ahead be filled with lasting joy." Oh, yes. I see Wendy is saying that she loves the putty end, except when she forgets to back off the pressure. That's a good thing to mention. When you want more putty to come out, you screw down on it and it makes it ooze out the top. But then you want to like back turn it just a tiny bit, because you don't want continued pressure on it, or even after you go put it away, it'll continue to ooze goo out of the end. So just push it hard enough to get as much putty as you want, then back it off like a quarter turn just so it does not continue. Okay, so thank you, Wendy, for pointing that out. That is a good point. It's one of those things I do automatically. I have to remember to tell you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, now this one, when I go ahead to attach that, Again, we don't want to glue our card shut, so I'm going to start off with putting some adhesive up here. And then I'm going to arrange this where I want it with just the top glued. Okay, so you can leave it like that. It's perfectly okay to not have a closure on it, but if you wanted to, you can use the little mini magnets, or you can use the mini Velcro dots to help close it. Both are on my website under that products I recommend section that'll link you over to Amazon, where you can find both the magnets and these little Velcro dots. So there's that. And this one needs some bling, right? Okay. So there we go. There is our second card. So how quick and easy was that, right? We were only on here less than half an hour and we made 2 full cards, even with my gabbing, using the new Lasting Joy stamp set and the coordinating Countryside Corners dies. These are fabulous dies because they are a general shape and you can use them with just about anything. I love dies that do that. So has everybody put in hashtag prize patrol? That is how everyone gets into the drawing to earn today's card. You want to put it in hashtag prize patrol, all run together, all one word, because that's how our computer is collecting it in the background. It doesn't like any typos. It's kind of persnickety that way. And I do have a new stamp set that I will be working with next time. I don't have my samples ready yet because Stampin' Up's been a little behind on their shipping. So that arrived recently, and I will be putting it together and stamping up some fabulous cards for next week using the little monkey. I don't know if you guys have seen that one out there yet, but it's super cute. And we'll be doing some fun cards with that and working with wobbles. So I don't have anybody new putting in hashtag prize patrol. So let's go ahead and bring up our wheel and see who today's winner is. Oh, there's one. Although it says Facebook user. So you're going to need to give Facebook permission to see your name. So there we go. Charity is our winner. Congratulations, Charity, for being today's winner of our Fun Fold card. And you can let me know which one you would like because there are multiples. Even better, you could show up for a class and you could pick whatever one you want. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you right back here on Monday at 2:30 for another Facebook and YouTube Live. Thank you.